Abby, are you facilitating or am I facilitating? I guess I will.
Yep, you got it. I'll record, make sure we have it all.
Cool. Well, that was my presentation, so I'm happy to field questions, but I would just start with a quick whip around of if you can give like who you are and what the sort of distance learning basic setup looks like for your kids. And we're gonna actually, this is another Zoom trick. We're gonna go in the order you're on my screen. So William, you're up first. Can you see yourselves can you see me seeing you on my screen?
Yeah. Great. Hi guys, my name is William Signorelli. I work at Austin Achieve Middle School in Austin, Texas. We have a math lab, which essentially is a, oh man, my boss is here and she's probably not gonna be happy in the way I describe it if I get it wrong. But like basically what we do is we teach all the 7th graders. We're second math class. We use different computer programs to like micro-target kids based on their levels. And during the regular school year, we're meeting students in small groups and working with them in, one-on-one to like small groups of 4 or 5, just to target areas where these students need the most help. And like I said, I teach 7th grade math. And could you ask the question again?
What does it look like now?
Oh, great. So for me, like, post a short video every morning explaining what the expectations are for the day. And then students are working independently on Imagine Math, which is like a computer program that you may or may not be familiar with, similar to Khan Academy, but it's all student-paced. And then on Fridays, we have 4 tutoring sessions that students are attending in real time.
Cool. Sarita.
Hi, my name is Sarita Lakey. I also work at Austin Achieve Middle School with Trey, who was just speaking, and Ari. And what Trey described is very much what we're doing. We're using Google Classroom for our middle school, and it's very much like more of like a students log in and do the work when they feel they're going to do the work model right now. And then after we post, like our job is following up with students, following up with our advisories. But I really liked hearing about how like Creo is using kind of like a blended model of both, like in class and not in class. Because I think where we're struggling as a school, or at least with our class, is like the accountability piece on kids.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Hi, my name's Adi Isa, kind of similar to what Sarita and Signorelli said. I'm actually the 6th grade math lab teacher at Austin Achieve. Somehow we
Did you all coordinate going to the same breakout room? Like, you don't see each other enough already?
I mean, we just really miss each other right now, But yeah, so with the 6th grade, it's a little different. I have tutoring times for the kids on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays I meet with my advisory, and we're using the Google Suite. So we're doing just a lot of like the Hangouts and trying to get them to connect with us as much as we can.
All right, well, what would be helpful? What questions do you have that if there's things I can help you think through?
I guess so you talked about setting that set schedule with your kids.
Yeah.
Did they have any input on that, or you just set that up kind of like similar to like a regular schedule class time?
So, no, they didn't have input. Well, they had input in that they get to choose what order they go to class in. We made this, and this is actually a picture of a thing, so we could text it. We texted it to all of our families, so they could see like, this is what your kid should be doing every day. And most of our kids were able to like, okay, I'm going to go to this. And in our advisory curriculum, they strategize like, which class should I go to first? Which class should I go to second? So they had a choice about like what order that was, but they didn't have a choice about like going to class. And it had to be sort of on this schedule because their teachers are only online from 9 to 3. So they had to be able to access their teachers. But then a lot of our kids needed a little bit more hand-holding than this, which is where you saw Frank's schedule. Like his advisor called him and they typed this one up for Frank specifically because he just needed to like just see like this is clear. I mean, I wrote this, so it's clear enough for me. But like just looking at this is clear enough for some of our kids, and some of our kids and families are like, what does class number 1 mean? We're like, okay, we're just going to tell you what class number 1 is. But I think, and you're in middle school, you said, so 6th and 7th grade, yeah. I think clarity is king, and like I think early on the fact that kids are like, oh my god, I get to choose my schedule, like that got them through the door. But then we saw like kids were just choosing not to go to ELA. It's like, well, that's not good because you don't know how to read. And so we still have that element of choice, but we have really, I guess, 3 schedule types right now. There's kids who are like totally free to choose their order because they're doing all the things they're supposed to do. There's kids who were either like really stressed or falling really far behind, and we were like, okay, we're going to sit down with you and make a schedule. And then there's kids who were already in our remedial classes and were like, just go to ELA and math. And if you want to go to computer science and health and wellness, great. But like, you're only going to get graded if you go to these 2 classes because you're already like, you're in our phonics class. Like you cannot be missing phonics for 60 days of school. We start in 5th grade, so that might be a little bit different in terms of what your needs look like, but maybe not. I also like, I think are you online? So you're in Google Meet, whatever it's called, with kids for a set amount of time, or how does that work?
No, so we're just posting at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then there's no like live time with students, although we are now starting to offer like tutoring or office hours, but that's at this point like very optional and very limitedly attended.
When's your school day over?
Our school day, I guess, typically is over at 4:30.
Oh, but like now, like when do you stop working?
As a teacher?
Yeah.
Like around 5.
Okay.
But in terms of like students, like we have them go on Go Guardian, and like typically most of them are signed off much earlier than that.
Yeah. And when's your school year over?
Our school year is over May 28th.
Wow.
So soon. We start August 1st.
So do we.
Wow.
But not with kids, with adults. But yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, are you thinking that you could do something like what I showed, or is that like, no?
So I think what you showed is definitely something that would be, I think at this point in the year, like a week and a half left of like true instruction for kids to leave. But looking to next year, yes, I think that could be super possible. And I personally would be like very interested how it got set up, like how you keep families accountable and keep families even engaged with like knowing how to check up on their kids. And we are, so you know, a 5th grade through 8th grade middle school.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I will send you. So is this, if I paste this in the chat, I don't know if it goes to everybody, but that's our distance learning page. I don't know if it goes to the other breakout rooms or just this one. Just this one, hopefully. We'll find out.
Hopefully we'll find out.
Yeah. And then we communicate with our families. I mean, I'm sure everyone communicates with their families a lot, but like we're very aggressive. And we have advisors that are supposed to reach out at least once a week. Our ops team reaches out all the time. We have a leaderboard for attendance, so like staff can see how they rank in attendance compared to other staff, which was good, like low-key kind of competitive, like my advisory should be getting more attendance kind of thing. And then like, I mean, I think it's just being really relentless. We started our first day, we had like 26% attendance, and now we're at like 86% attendance, right? And it's just like building marginal gains. And one of my jobs as a leader is being a cheerleader, right? And so like we went from 26 to 32. I was like, yes. And then I was like, but 32 sucks. So let's get to, and I set goals. Every week I set a goal for the staff. And like, at first I was like, oh my God, if I set a goal of 50, we don't, like, that felt really bad. It was like, if I set the goal of 90% that first week, you're never going to make it. So I forget what the exact numbers were. It was like 40, then 50, then 60. I don't remember what it was, but whatever. We actually kept beating it, which was great. And like that momentum felt good. And so I think having public goals that feel like you can meet them together, and then having them be realistic so you can meet them, and then keep pushing the envelope. And like, we're not happy with 86%, but like 86% is, from what I hear, 86% is like pretty good. So that was helpful. I wrote about some of our communication with families. I can send that to you. I don't know if that's helpful. If you want more stuff to read about distance learning, but yeah. What other? Abby, how much time do we have left?
90s. We're gonna come back at 57, so 3.5 minutes.
Cool. What else would be helpful?
I think like hearing how you kind of got it, like the communications that you use with families would be helpful. I know like in terms of how we hold kids accountable, they're considered attendance if they complete a morning survey, but it's not actually connected to the work they complete. And so there's like our attendance looks good, but our work completion is really poor.
Yeah, I made the decision early on that, and I'm not any shade to is your
I
school
don't know.
call or like in a different? Someone said their boss was on the call.
Oh, I mean, I'm not really Trey's boss. I'm
Okay.
Yeah, she's like a coach.
Awesome. I'm sure he's great.
My coach is in another breakout.
Great.
He does the attendance.
I made the decision early on, and like I was on a call, and the school was like, "Yeah, we get 95% attendance." Like, holy shit, how are you getting 95% attendance? They're like, and then it turned out it was a Google survey at 8 in the morning. Like, kids roll over, click the thing, go back to sleep. And I was like, that's BS. Like, that's not, no offense. Like, that's not what we signed up for, right? And so we made the decision that like not only was attendance going to be tied to work, but it was going to be tied to like we see you on camera. Like, you could do the Google packet for us, so you could watch the video and do the packet, and we don't count you as present, even if you submit it, even if everything's right. We have to see you and talk to you about your work for that to count for attendance. Because everything else to me felt like it was letting us off the hook as adults for being like, oh yeah, they attended, right? And like, I don't know, we're at home, we have jobs, I can get groceries delivered to me. Like, I have a lot of things my families don't have, but the thing that I can do is deliver a quality education. And if I just, it's difference between delivering it and providing it, right? And so if we just put it out there, it's like, okay, great. But like, I don't consider, like, if Amazon puts a package outside their factory, I'm like, that doesn't help me. It has to get to my door and in my house. And like, to me, that's the problem to solve. And I don't know if this is helpful, but like, your teachers, but I'm sure that I hope your voice is respected at your school and listened to. Like, we're going to do this in the fall. And like, I think it's totally, like, we all did what we could this year and it all sucks, but we're going to do this again next year. And like, you guys are in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Texas didn't take this seriously, so you're probably going to have a really bad second wave. Sorry. We are too, but like, we're going to do this again at some point next year. And I really hope that teachers and leaders will rally behind, like, attendance means that we taught kids. And the two lies of teaching are, I taught it, therefore they learned it, and they learned it, therefore I taught it. And it's really easy to get caught in one of those two lies, and they're both lies.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Thanks for letting me rant.
No, it gives us a lot to think through, like first thinking how next year would start, or if there's a virtual, there will be probably a virtual component. And
Ben, I think one of the things you must have done early on is focus on sync and async both, where some schools have gone all async. And then the tools you provided for Zoom on the sync side, getting teachers ramped up and able to use it and comfortable using it, that was huge for you.
Yeah, and we also, I will say, like, having a computer science class meant that our kids did freak out when they had to suddenly navigate a bunch of different websites, and that's huge.
Alrighty. I think we're all either back or on our way back to the main room here. So we're just about out of time. I hope everyone had some great discussions today. I hope you all came away with some actionable ideas based on the breakout rooms. So thank you once again for attending. Thank you for all your questions, your engagement. Thank you especially to Caitlin, Forrest, and Ben for sharing your time and knowledge with us. We really appreciate that. To all our attendees, remember, look for a follow-up email. We'll provide recording of the main presentations, the breakout rooms, and also slides as well. So you'll see that in your inbox soon. And on behalf of Sarah, School Runners Director of Customer Success, Abby, School Runners School Happiness Coordinator, myself, and the rest of the School Runner team, take care, stay safe, and thank you so much.